Welcome to another episode and another saga in the check-in report. I am your host, True and Living, and I am here to educate. I am here to edutain your needs. Tonight we will be talking about Evelyn Lozada is now a reformed woman. No more throwing drinks on, conniving bitches. No more, running down on skeezers and hoes trying to fuck her man. She is a renewed woman. And, I don't want to berate this woman, because if she has truly found, a greater calling in Christ, that is a beautiful thing. But I am here to talk about Evelyn Lozada and the female body count, because she made an interesting claim talking about she is no longer having premarital sex. And I want to talk about women in the black community, women in our communities, in the urban communities, the black and brown and Hispanic women that recklessly give their bodies up to unrighteous, evil, the most diabolical Negroes that they can find. And we're here to talk about that tonight. We're here to talk about how the female body deteriorates, how the female body, morphs, and how you corrupt a woman internally and spiritually when she's giving up her body continuously to evil men. I am your host, True and Living. And we're here to edutain, and we're here to talk about Evelyn Lozada. And I want to show an experiment on the female body. And we're going to get to that in a few. But if you don't know, tonight's topic is Evelyn Lozada. She is now a renewed woman. No longer, it's like I said, no longer throwing drinks on skeezer bitches. No longer is she doing that. And listen, man, I'm happy for her. If this is really a new leaf for this woman, I'm happy for her, because so many years we've seen her on the Basketball Wives, fighting with this girl, fighting with that girl, fucking with this man, fucking with that man. And if she has truly turned a new leaf, that is a beautiful thing. And I want to commend that sister right here on the check-in report. And make sure you wipe your feet when you come in the door. It's a check-in report, nigga. But I want to show an experiment that I call the female body count experiment. And I want to get to that right now. We're going to talk about that right now, This cup of water represents the female body. Pure in essence, clear, a fertile ground for a man to have his children. A lot of men have it fucked up. The best time to find a woman is when she's young. And I'm not on no R. Kelly shit. I'm talking about when you're a young man and you find a young girl, like when you're in high school, when you're in college, when you're a young adult. That is the best time to find a woman and to put your years in, put your time into her, because she's fertile ground. She's not, she hasn't been corrupted. This is fertile ground and fertile soil for you to grow. And for, this is a fertile, pure young woman. And that's what this cup represents, a fertile and pure young woman. And I want to show you what this cup turns into after, years and years and decades of men corrupting her, men using her, men, gaming her being passed around in the neighborhoods, in the colleges, in the hoods, and going to every clubs, fucking with this nigga, fucking with that nigga, fucking with this dude friend, fucking with that dude's friend. being a thought, having a hot girl summer. We're going to talk about that tonight. But I want you to understand that this cup represents a young, fertile woman that is to be respected, to be honored, to be loved, and most importantly, to be nurtured. A lot of young women, I'm pretty sure I got a lot of wicked Negroes watching tonight. A lot of women came to you like this. They came to you pure. They came to you, willing to give up everything. And they came to you as an honest, pure woman. And what did you do? You did the nigga shit. You took this pure woman and you treated her like trash. You treated her like garbage. You treated her like nothing. And then when you broke her heart, she fucked with the next nigga. And she thought the next nigga was gonna do that to her, and the next nigga did. And she got passed around. So she automatically think this is what love is, getting passed around, fucking with this nigga, sleeping with that nigga, sleeping with that nigga. And not to mark Evelyn Lozada, but that was a part of her journey. I'm pretty sure she's a Afro-Latina young girl. She grew up in the hood. She knew what it was, I'm pretty sure when she was in her heyday, she was, fucking with that drug dealer, fucking with that nigga in the hood, fucking with the get money niggas, the scamming niggas. She was fucking she was fucking with the fly pretty boy niggas that was, she was getting passed around. No disrespect to her. Cause she didn't have that teaching. I'm pretty sure maybe, a lot of young women, they don't grow up with fathers in the home. So they don't have that example of a man. They don't have that example of a man to treat them right and treat them righteously and honor them. But this represents a pure, fertile woman. And I want to show you what happens to this pure, fertile woman when she gets passed around in the female body count. So let's observe. This young woman, I'm going to go through the story arc, if you will. Let's go through the story arc. This young woman, she's in high school. She meets a nice young guy, pretty boy. A lot of young girls, they, when they're in high school, they want to fuck with the pretty boys. They want to fuck with the nigga that get all the hoes, get all the bitches. So, she came to him as a pure, fertile field. But, he wasn't ready. He wanted to thot her out. He wanted to treat her like shit. He wanted to corrupt that young woman. He wanted to just get some ass. He got plenty of other hoes. So guess what happened? He corrupted that woman. And this is the corruption. Body number 1. Now look, as you can properly see, this woman has been defiled. This woman is no longer pure. This woman is no longer the fertile field. Now, it's still clear because, she doesn't have that experience. She doesn't have that, she doesn't have that time in. She went through one heartbreak, but, she still is optimistic on the future. She's still optimistic. And maybe this guy that I gave myself to, maybe he just wasn't the one. But as you can see, this woman has been defiled and she has had her heart broken and she gave her body up to a nigga that was unworthy of her. So let's go through the story, Yak. So, she sleeps with that one guy. It was a one-off, So, this was like, let's go to senior year. This is her last year in high school, And she's getting ready to go to college, and she's ready to go to college. She's ready to have a new leaf. Most girls when they go to college, they want to have a new lease on life. They want to have fun. They want to have a new chapter because all the people that they went to school with, they're in the past now. She's on to new and better things in a college. So she goes to college. And what do people do in college? They turn up. You know, there's education going in the colleges, but you know, they fucking. They fucking. So, you know, they partying and they fucking. So she gets introduced to that life. You know, a young girl that's not tainted all the way yet. But, you know, she's still optimistic. So she, you know, she goes to the colleges, she goes to the parties, and you know, she meets a guy that, you know, he's a jock. He's another guy, you know, got all the hoes, fucking all the bitches. You know, he starts rapping with her, you know. She smiles at him. So, you know, they have a little nightcap, they have a little sex that morning. So she gives herself to this man. Body number 2. As you can see, she's continually being defiled, continually being, you know, disrupted. Little does she know that this man doesn't want to commit to her. This man has no, you know, dealings with her. He just wanted some ass. He was another unrighteous brother, unfit and unworthy to lead this woman. As a man, it is your duty and obligation to lead these women. And then, according to the Bible, sex is marriage. So if you're out there having sex with these women, understand that you have an obligation to these women. So this is her second body. Now, as you can see, it's still clear. It's still clear, but it's ultimately been defiled, ultimately been corrupted by the unrighteous, evil niggas that had no intent on committing to this young woman. So, you know, this girl, you know, she goes through, she's had 2 bodies at this point. So, you know, she's starting to believe maybe this is what love is, you know, just sleeping with random men, sleeping with random guys. So, you know, a lot of girls, they go to their thought phase, and yes, here we are. College and high school are the thought years. Those are the thought phases. So let's just say, you know, in college, let's say she went to college for 4 years. And within that 4-year span, she's probably slept with, you know, 5 to 10 guys. You know, I've known girls that, you know, went to college and they slept with way more men than that. But let's say in her 4-year span, she's had about 4 or 5 more bodies. And, you know, maybe one of those situations was a relationship. But out of that 4 years, she's had 5 to 10 bodies. So 2 bodies went to 7. 8 to 7. So let's show that. Body number 1, body number 2, body number 3, body number 4, body number 5, and we'll say 6. This is the woman. This is that woman that was fertile field for you. This was the woman that came to you pure, honorable, now defiled by a culture of men who refuse to lead women, refuse to honor women, and refuse to use women for their natural cause. This is what you've done to the woman. You know, in the beginning of this video was a pure, honorable woman that came to you in honor and in respect and in purity. But look what you did to her. You know, look what a few unrighteous brothers that was lustful and caught up in whoredom, straight whoredom, and defiled these women. So, you know, she's had the 4 or 5 bodies in college. We're still going through the story arc. And now, you know, when people get out of college to get their degrees or whatever, you know, to get into the workplace, you know what I mean? And let's say, you know, She gets into the workplace. A lot of people, they date on the workplace. They date on the workplace. They have a few hubbies. They have a few, guys that they thought off with. When you get out of college, you're not ultimately out of the thought phase. I say a lot of girls, they don't get out of the thought phase until, I'd say, late 20s. I say the earliest 25, the latest 28. I say 28, 27 is when a girl completely gets out of the thought phase. She realizes, you know what? I can't sleep with a bunch of men for the rest of my life. I gotta, give this pussy up to a man that's gonna love me and a man that's gonna honor me, right? So let's just say, when she got out of high school, she got a degree, and she's starting to become an independent woman, and she's starting to smell her drawers. So, she hits the dating scene. She wants to date guys in her city, that she's working in, or the guys at her work. So the next body, the man at her job. Most men, they go to work just to work, but there's a lot of ass being thrown around at work. So let's just say she gave the ass up to a man at her job. Now keep in mind, as I'm putting this in, she has not yet her husband yet. She has not met her husband yet. This woman that all of these unrighteous, unfit to lead men defiled, this woman has not yet met her husband, has not yet met her fiance, not met the man that's going to treat and respect her. Not yet, but she's sleeping with the man at her job. That's a heavy load right there. Now look at this woman. You're starting not to even see what's going on in that cup. It's been darkened. It's been polluted. And you've dated women like this. You've dealt with women that are, that don't want to listen. Women that don't want to follow your lead. Because this is why. All of the men that have been in her life have defiled her. All of the men that were there and slept with her refused to lead her and refused to honor her. And you're dealing with all of the spirits, all of the affirmities, all of the unnatural, no spirits that laid into this woman and that is still in this woman. That DNA still in this woman. Vindictive females. Not to shit on Evelyn, but Evelyn was a vindictive female. She treated a lot of women on that show like trash. Cursed them out, threw drinks on them. Didn't have respect for the men that were in her life. Didn't want to be led by an honorable man when she did find him. You've met women like this. We've all dealt with women like this. Corrupted, deluded, damaged goods. We've all dealt with them. And this woman, as I stated before, has not met the man of her dreams yet. Has not met the man that is going to treat her right and respect her. So let's get to the end of this story arc. So she dates for a while. She sleeps with a few more guys. A few more bodies. So let's just drop some more in here because we understand the type of culture that we live in. We understand the type of sex-free culture. We don't believe in sex being marriage. We don't believe, as a culture, we just freely giving out sex, freely laying down with spirits, freely laying down with corrupted individuals and evil spirits. So let's say after she dealt with some guy at her job, she had a few more bodies. Let's for old time's sake, 2 or 3 more bodies. Right? That's where we at. And ultimately, after a year or so, she meets a man that's willing to with all the baggage and all the corruption, she meets a man that's ready to lead her and respect her. Now look what all of these unrighteous, unfit brothers did to this woman. They've corrupted her. If you've seen the video in the a couple minutes ago, this cup was pure. This cup was undefiled. This cup was you was able to see, and you was and the cup represented a woman that was pure, a woman that came to you in purity, a woman that was ready to be led, and a woman that was ready and willing to be led by a man. But this is what all of those unrighteous, unlawful brothers did to this sister. After all the years of thotting, in college, sleeping with men in high school, hitting the club scene, thotting on work, hot girl summer after summer after summer, this woman is polluted. This woman is polluted, and you did it, sir. You unrighteous, unfit to lead brothers did it to her. And you have no one to blame but yourself. And this is the female body count. This is the culture we live in. Polluting and diluting women. Now listen, just like I said, the best time, and especially if any young brothers are listening to this, any young brothers that's in high school, any young brothers that's in college, the best time to settle down with a young woman is in that time. You need a young, fertile woman that has not been corrupted by society, not been corrupted by, lustful, sex-driven, courting whoredom brothers. You need to find a woman that is pure and that has not been corrupted yet by these unrighteous brothers, because they're out there and they are preying on the black and brown Latino sisters. Corrupted women hurt people. I just want to get one more look at this, at my dissertation. This is what you brothers did to our sisters in the community. This is what you've done to them. You've polluted them, deluded them. And the thing going around is, I hate when I hear black men talking about, the sisters. Oh, the sisters, they don't listen. Oh, the sisters, they don't do this, they don't do that. You got to get yourself a Latino woman. You got to get yourself a white woman. You get yourself this, that, and the third. But look at what you did to these sisters. When they came to you pure, when they came to you, willing to learn, willing to listen, coming to you in purity, you thotted them out. You thotted them out. You should take responsibility for what you did to your sisters. You should take responsibility as a culture, what we've done to our women. Not sit here and blame them. Just being honest. Just being real. Keeping it real. Brothers need to hear that. Brothers need to understand. We need to take responsibility as a culture. And I'm not saying that, Evelyn Lozada was like, the standard of a woman. Like she was just, such a pure angel, and every guy she ever met was righteous, but she turned them down. Don't get me wrong, women have their part in this too. Because women, they chase after, the bad boys, the pretty boys, the scammers, the drug dealers, excuse me. They chase after them. And then when they get thotted out, you know, after they get thotted out, they thought it out and thought it out. You know, now they want to get settled down when they hit their late 20s and their 30s. Now you want to settle down. Now you're thinking about settling down. You know, but when you was having your fun, when you was out there, you know, sitting on every wood, and you was out there, you know, chasing after every drug dealer and a scammer, because he brought you a pocketbook, it was all fine and dandy. But now you're looking for a righteous brother. Women have their part too, but I want to talk to the brothers, because we need to take our responsibility as a culture. We need to take responsibility. You know, maybe Evelyn Lozada wouldn't have to go through after all of these unrighteous brothers. If, you know, maybe if she would have met a righteous dude that came to her early. You know, she was wifed up at one point. You know, she was a basketball wife. I don't know. I forgot who she was. Let me look that up. Who was she married to? Who was the ball player she was married to? I'm about to look that up real quick. Let me look that up. Because she was married to some guy. Let me just look that up real quick. Who was she married to? Wasn't she like married to like Antonio Walker or something like that? I don't remember. Evelyn Lozada. I know she was messing with what's it called at one point. I turned off the music. But yeah, you know, I'm here to talk to you brothers, you know. Yeah, what y'all doing to these sisters is foul. It's wrong. And there's no reason for it. I need to have more respect for the sisters, you know. Have more honor for these sisters. These sisters came to you pure. These sisters came to you, you know, in love. I can't find it. Who is? I got bad eyes. Let me hit the Wikipedia. I just want to know who wifed her up. Who wifed her up? Who was her back? Because I mean, she was on Basketball Wife, so I know she was married to some guy. Oh shit! Let me see. Damn. Let me put it in. Hold on. Cause I do want to know who was the brother who wifed her up. I know she was fucking with Chad. What's that nigga name? The football player. Ocho Cinco. That's the nigga name. She was fucking with Ocho Cinco. Evelyn Lozada's first husband. Husband. Let me just put this in real quick. Husband. I know y'all see me squinting. Who was the guy? Antonio Walker. See, I was right. Yeah, I knew it was him. Was he a righteous brother? Did he treat her right? I don't know. You know, some of these basketball players, they don't wife some of these girls up for love. You know, they just looking for some ass, looking for a good time. You know. But that's just my dissertation. That's my message for today. I am true and living. The female body count. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I am gone. Thank you for joining me. This is the Check-In Report.